Our next guests, Lisa and Dustin Dean, have learned how to find peace after suffering a devastating loss. Their daughter, Aydrah, was born with abnormalities and was placed in the NICU at St. Boniface Hospital. She passed away when she was just days old. Since then, Lisa and Dustin wanted to thank the staff for making their stay as comfortable as they could. So they started a project called With Love, Aydrah, to let the parents of NICU patients know that they are never alone. And with the annual St. Boniface Radiothon of Hope and Healing on 680 CJOB set for Friday, November 17th, we wanted to welcome Lisa and Dustin Dean and their family to the studio. Thank you for joining us this morning on 680 CJOB.
We really appreciate you coming in, and we've already been commiserating for the last 10 minutes out in what we call the green room, and we've already realized we have a lot in common. And of course, my story of my children starts in the NICU, and I think we always, at least I do, forget sometimes, even though we experienced it when we were there, that not all babies that spend time in the NICU come out of the NICU, which was unfortunately the story with Aydrah. Can you tell us a little bit of a story about Aydrah, Lisa, and the wonderful time that you did have with her and how she's inspiring you?
For sure, yeah. Well, Aydrah was the sweetest little baby ever. She was everything to us. The staff made it really, really easy to be in the NICU. They were very sweet. They always welcomed our family. They painted with us. They took time with us. They baptized with us. They did everything. They cried. They lifted us off the floor when we were at our lowest points. And it was very easy to give back just because these people that work in the NICU are like no kind of people I've ever met before.
You have these three beautiful children, so obviously you're very blessed in terms of family. But Dustin, how is it when you recognize and you remember Aydrah, and how is it that you have the strength to celebrate her life by creating this opportunity to give back like this? Where do you get that strength?
It's when you're going through it, you always think to yourself, you see it on TV or you read about it and you think, well, that's not going to happen to me, or like that must be bad. But when you're going through it and you need help and somebody to talk to and reach out, it was hard. So we just wanted to give back and have somebody to talk to when you need it. Not that the resources aren't there, but sometimes it's difficult when you're trying to go through the system, finding somebody, So social media, which my wife created, and I has helped with that.
So what are you doing, Lisa? I know you've created a group of moms that get together to talk about your common loss. How did you go about that? And the numbers in your group are growing, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, basically, it was just that I felt like I had no one. Unfortunately, the resources just aren't out there yet. They're trying as hard as they can, especially like the nurses and the doctors and things like that. But it's a long road that we still need to do. But I basically just started a Facebook group that kind of grew. The numbers are actually astonishing. It's 1 in 4 that lose a child or a pregnancy. And so there's a lot of women that are suffering. And so I just started a group, and it kind of grew from there. People just heard about it and started sharing it. And I used to run it out of my house, and now we have a spot, and you don't have to sign up. You just kind of show up, and it's every second Monday of every month. And I just needed something, and it was selfishly for me. But honestly, a lot of women have thanked us so much for starting it, because without it, they too felt so alone.
What is happening on, you said it's every second Monday?
Yeah.
So what happens?
We just kind of meet. We just meet, and we're starting to do little things like this month. It's bring a friend or a family member or a husband or anything like that. But usually it's just kind of like, I just want to hang out with someone that kind of gets what we're going through. So we just meet and talk about whatever's on our mind at the time, and just reminisce about our children and things that have happened. And
Now, people are hearing a little voice here. You've got a beautiful baby girl on your knee. Why don't you introduce us to her just briefly here?
So Malia is our rainbow baby, as people like to call. I don't know if you've heard the term.
I've never
You've
heard
never
that
heard
term,
it?
no.
So it's a baby after the storm kind of thing, you know, like we went through some really hard times, and this is our little piece of Aydrah. And she was born, actually, I had both girls within the same year. Malia decided to come early.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, she's coming up to a year, actually, in December, and Aydrah would be 2 years in February.
And Bryce and Kanan or Bria and Kanan are also here with us this morning. So thanks for getting up early this morning, you guys. I know, Kanan, you say you get up early all the time. Bria says, I'm usually sleeping right now, right?
I think she's a fibber.
You're tired. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming in this morning and everything you're doing to support others that are going through what you've been through, and to be there for those that are going through it. It's a powerful message to share your pain and to share hope all at the same time. It's very inspirational.
Oh, well, thank you so much for letting us share our story.
Before we let you go, why don't we just quickly, with the project itself, with Love Aydrah, I understand that this is, you're putting together sort of gift bags.
Yeah, so I started the gift bags. Sometimes they kind of forget to give out, and the nurses are so busy as it is. Yeah. So it was kind of just to get our name in the hospital. Now we find that a lot of women are finding us. We actually just recently had a Winnipeg photographer raise money for our group. So we're kind of thinking of what to do with our money to help moms. But I think we're going to come out with cards now, just so that hopefully the hospitals can kind of send them out. And the birthing center actually made us posters that we're sending, and we're posting up in all of our doctors' offices. And everybody's been so great at willing to post them and sharing our group and kind of what we do.
How can people connect with you if we're reaching out to someone this morning who didn't realize there was a group where they could share this sort of thing? How do they get in touch?
That's great. So you can actually find us on Facebook. It's under Winnipeg Pregnancy and Infant Loss Self-Help Group. And you can just like the page and you can see our events, like when our group is and stuff like that, and connect, message us if you need someone to talk to. We're lucky enough where we found counseling that's willing to offer for free for women, because it's a struggle getting that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lisa and Dustin Dean, thank you for joining us. And thank you, Kanan, Bria, and Malia for joining us as well this morning on 680 CJOB. Again, the name of the project is With Love Aydrah. And this is all in support of the annual St. Boniface Radiothon of Hope and Healing, which is on 680 CJOB, set for Friday, November 17th. 7:45, we'll check your drive and your forecast up next.